has come to us aboard the stagecoach, the Barnard Express. Now, Joe's going to move us up the road a little bit because that brown horse doesn't like me. Snorts at me when I talk too close to him. All right, so we'll stop right here. And here is our express office. This gentleman, Mr. Francis James Barnard, our stagecoach line operator, he does not begin his career in the Barkerville as a teamster. He in fact begins his career as a sort of mailman, a postman. Now, I am going to guess that almost everyone here this morning has at some point travelled through the Fraser Canyon. So I want you to now imagine what that journey is like before there is a road. Mr. Barnard begins his career in the Barkerville walking the mail through the canyon. So for $2 a letter, he will collect your mail in Yale, tuck it into his backpack, and walk through the canyon until he arrives here at Richfield, just up the wagon road. He'll collect the mail in Richfield, and he'll walk all the way back to Yale. Now that is a round trip of approximately 760 miles. No one is happier than Mr. Barnard to see this road built. Now we are standing on the 8th wonder of the world, the Caribou Wagon Road. When this gold rush really gets going, Governor Douglas realizes very quickly it's hard to get here. So he writes a letter to England. He says, we need some help. England sends over 200 Royal Engineers to begin the process of surveying the land and building the road. Now they are blasting through mountains. They are building cribbing that hangs at 90-degree angles off of cliff faces. It takes a few years, but by 1865 the wagon road is complete. Starts at Yale, winds through the canyon, and ends right there at St. Xavier's Church. Now once the road is complete, Mr. Barnard begins the longest and best stagecoach line in all of North America. Every stagecoach line after it follows its example, and it changes our lives. So before the wagon road, before the stagecoach, if we wanted to get down to Port Victoria, that would take us weeks. Once the stagecoach line is in place, 7 days. Gold could be transported out of the area much more quickly and easily once the road is in place, but most impactful to our day-to-day lives comes in the form of what we
across
pay
the way
for.
there.
You have the Goldfield Bakery. So there's 2 places for you to eat today, and I'll point out the third one when we get there. But what I really want to draw your attention to is this space between the Wake Up Jake and the barber shop. Here is where the Great Fire of 1868 starts. The summer of 1868 is hot and dry, and by September, dry.
So now you're really a movie star.
Well, go ahead, jump in, and we'll go.
Okay. Thank you. 네, 맞아. 하하. Barkerville.
dia cak macet lah ya. Dia cak ada doman lawan dia.
And I have decided that I am going to reopen this mine to invest. Yeah, and this is where you folks come in. You see, I am going to sell off 3 of the 8 remaining shares for a mere $6,000 a share, raising a working capital of $18,000, which we will reinvest into our underground workings, access more gold-bearing gravel than previously thought possible, and bring the company to profit once again. Come on, yeah. They seem terribly excited, don't they? I gotta say that an opportunity like this does not come a-knocking every day. No, it's a very rare, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You may even call it a golden opportunity.
Golden opportunity.
None of these wise potential investors are going to part with their hard-earned money without first seeing the grandiosity of this particular mechanism in their own eyes. So why don't we show them the most impressive visible asset? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Cornish water wheel. Wow. Thank you. Gobsmacked. Now, I would love to tell you all that what you're looking at here is on the cutting edge of mining technology in this fine year of 1870. What? I suppose that's not entirely true, but this is a well-proven piece of equipment.
Well-proven it is.
You see, wheels of this nature have been used for thousands of years, ever since the Roman occupation of England, really. Really? You see, it was the corn miners of Tinwall. Right, the tin miners of Cornwall, who first employed this mining technology for tin mining, but then it was borrowed for the California gold rush.
Believe it, I remember California well. Let me tell you, ma'am, it was a high time for a number of years. We had lots of work, lots of opportunity. Heck, we had gold to throw to the birds. Of course, it didn't take too long for the big companies to roll in. Top all the good ground, top all the water rights, next thing you know, cut your
Now, I believe I was speaking of Roman technology. You can still see some of this in our Caribou hillsides today. Like this here water flume stretching into the valley. This is very similar in function and design to the Roman aqueduct. This is because it's Roman aqueduct.
Sorry.
A bit more like a loon. But as I was saying, this flume here stretches all the way into the valley into Holden Pond upstream. The water then travels down the flume until it reaches the first wooden chute. No.
That first chute is called the bypass.
A bypass.
The bypass.
Mr. Grimsby, go stand next to the bypass.
What?
Show the good people where it is, okay?
do not play. Okay. Young lady, I'll show you the bypass.
My apologies for the insinuation. But what
Bypass right here.
Okay, yep, next.
Oh, go.
Shut up! So, as I was saying, once you close that bypass, the water can continue until it reaches the second wooden chute.
Second chute is right here. This is where the water goes when you close the bypass. It's the one with the few holes on it, young lady.
Control yourself! Thank you, Mr. Grimsby. At this point, you can open up a little trap door, which is on a floodgate.
It's called the floodgate.
A floodgate. Mr. Grimsby, why don't you enlighten these good people as to the specifics of the floodgate?
The floodgate is located in the bottom of the flume, just this side of the wheel center.
Thank you, Mr. Grimsby.
Give me a sec.
There you go. Yes, once you open this floodgate, or this trap door, the water begins to spill onto the water wheel, filling up these wooden water carrying trays on the side of the wheel. This makes one side of the wheel heavier than the other, which of course makes that wheel turn and rotate. Once that wheel starts turning, we have an impressive amount of power at our disposal, don't we, Mr. Grimsby?
You better believe it.
Yeah.
2,300 foot-pounds of raw minewood torque at our disposal.
Torque. Not pork. There are no pork farms in here. This power is used in three very impressive ways. The first which being this wooden disc, which is mounted on the same axle as the water wheel. Now, this is the flywheel. No.
This is the driving.
I'm pretty sure it's a flywheel, Mr. Grimsby.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't fly anywhere. The driving.
Sure, all the drive. Now you'll notice mounted just off center on the drive wheel. Off center, much like Mr. Grimsby. Yeah, now this little beam here, this is called the eccentric arm. Eccentric. Yeah, he's I do apologize. A few bricks short of a look. Pretty slow. Now I gotta get. Hey! Eccentric. Well, eccentric simply means unsurpassed in mining expertise. Yeah. She wouldn't lie to you, Mr. You sure are. Back to business, mister. Back to business. So I was speaking of the up and down motion of the eccentric arm.
Mr. Billingsley,
What?
you look at this rock.
Okay.
Oh, look carefully.
Yeah, okay, I'm looking at the
You
rock,
see
Mr.
the
Grimsby.
quartz
Yeah, okay, some
intrusion?
quartz intrusions.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's the big deal, Mr.
This
Grimsby?
is liberation.
Is that good?
You better believe it.
It's good.
Right up, everybody. We got a lever right on that
The value of your potential investment. Okay, so Mr. Grimsby, I don't quite understand. What do we do with Libra?
What do you do with lever, right?
Yeah.
Leave it right there.
Don't encourage him. Open the gate valve. Gate valve open. Valve's open. Really hear that water starting to make its way down, but right now it is actually being diverted back into the street until Mr. Grimsby comes around the corner and closes the bypass. Bypass?
Bypass. Hello.
There we go. Open the floodgate.
Floodgate open. All clear.
All clear.
because it then and
That circular motion translates the up and down motion to the eccentric arm, which goes all the way through the walking beam, transfers to the up and down motion of this series of broad beams, which power the pump underground, which makes sure that underground area, the wet sink is nice and dry, so the area can be mined. Buck it up, Mr. Grimsby. Buck it up. Buck it up! Up comes the bucket of potentially gold-bound ground. This is not only how we bring our buckets of gold up to the surface, but also how we send our miners down to bedrock and then bring them back up at the end of their 12-hour shift underground. That's right. A crack operator like myself. I could pull this open down on that rock needles up here. Come on, let's go over there. No, yeah, stay. Now, Mr. Grimsby, the mine is flooded. Good call, sir. Stay where you are. Good. Okay, so, yep, there we go. So you've heard our pitch. You can see the wheel functioning in operation. What more could you possibly want before parting with your hard-earned? Tough crowd. Okay. Typically, the gold cleanup is a private affair between the mine owner and principal investors. But since we are sorely lacking in actual investors, no, Mr. Grimsby, that's a double negative. We don't want them swearing that.
It's twice as effective. Madam, you look lucky. Step forward.
Okay.
What's your name?
It's Joanne.
Joanne. And madam, your name is? Rosemary. Back off, Rosemary.
Okay.
All right. Left.